on the floor.
Hi everyone, this is Steve here from High Fly Asia. Thank you for watching this Facebook Live. Today we have a very important guest, my awesome brother. Okay, but before that, before I introduce, let me announce that today is our 20th episode of our Facebook Live, which means we have done it for the 20th time, and of the 20th episode, we must have very important guests, right? Now, how do I introduce the person beside me? I usually in the event, how I introduce is, I always say this, now everyone knows that knowing your legal right is very important, and hiring a lawyer is also very important. But what are the best way that you can do is to have a very powerful lawyer as your brother.
Thank you, brother.
So that's how I introduce you, right?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Why? So that you have a very powerful lawyer as your brother, nobody dare to bully you.
Oh, of course,
right.
Of course.
Because legal right is so, underrated. Because a lot of people don't find the importance until they are in deep shit.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, I guess that everyone that they have to take for granted.
Yes.
They take for granted that it's just common sense, word by mouth, and then it's trust by, what do you call it? My words is my trust.
Right.
But nowadays it's different. Yeah, things have changed. The trends have changed. Now things have been changed now. That you have to actually understand the basic principles of law. Correct. Especially those SME and entrepreneurs.
Correct. Because sometimes friends is friend.
Yes.
Business partner is business partner.
True.
I always say this: when you come together to form the business together, everything is good.
True.
Why? Because money is not raised up yet.
Yes.
The moment money is involved, that's where you see dispute coming in.
True.
You no need to see in business. Family is the same thing, right? So as long as in the beginning, why? Because beginning haven't made money, so there's not a need to be discussing about this.
You haven't seen the group yet.
Correct. And this one is through my own experience. I find out that one is this. Another one is what? Another one is, let's say three brothers is in a business. In fact, the three brothers have no issue, but their missus has the issue.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because each missus will have their own way of wanting the certain right of it.
Yes.
I've seen quite a bit of this because, especially because my mom's side, there is a family business, and I see there's a pattern of behavior in that, and then therefore I find that whatever scenario that it is, it's very important to keep your legal, the rights with you, right?
Yes.
Because I think we don't have to have all the legal, every questions to ask the lawyer. Certain questions we ourselves could get ourselves to be equipped with. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I fully agree with you. You have to understand the basic principle rights that you have. For example, that in terms of property.
Okay.
And family dispute in property, that what they're entitled to in terms of property distribution in estate. For example, somebody's parents, father passed away. Right. And what is their rights, your entitlement? Right. In terms of distribution. Right. First in hand. So, for example, if the husband passed away, there's no children, whether the brothers are entitled to for the
this is property. Provided there's no will.
No will.
Okay.
No will. That's right.
Okay. So there are a lot of things that somehow, somewhere, there is also a basic legal that keep everything in place.
Yes.
Do we follow? We follow British.
Yeah, we follow British.
Basic British law.
Common law.
Yeah.
Common law.
The common law of British, because we follow most of the thing is British way of doing this. And I was just talking to Mr. Lai, Brother Lai, over the dinner, that why I am so, I find that this legal is so important. Simple reason is because on my second years in Malaysia, I find the importance of legal and basic law, right, is because I met one con man. He is a businessman con man, and he is using his legal knowledge to con his investor. Okay? Because his investor is based on the trust part, okay? But they probably will not read the contract so carefully, and because of the trust part, and he manipulate the money that is being invested. I think throughout his 5 years in the industry, I think he easily would have chalked up about more than 20 million.
Oh, that's
a lot. But he's huge sum because and the amazing part, he get away with it most of the time because he only target all the rich and powerful people.
Oh, right.
And the rich and powerful people,
the
last thing they want to do is to admit that they get conned, right? So I think he played the game quite well, and I kind of study that, and this is how it is, and I find that, hey, if I don't protect myself, and I would be at the loss side, because if another person has more powerful, or maybe this person has a lawyer to back him up, I'm a losing side, because to me, legal is actually it's a very foreign to me.
Yeah,
right.
True.
And I was talking to my team just now. You know how we are brought up as an Asian culture? Yeah. Like your mom will teach you, if you don't want to get into trouble, don't go to police station, don't go to lawyer, legal, don't get yourself into all this trouble. Correct. Don't. You see, it kind of enforces you don't, right? You have the this thought that you want to just pray that nothing will happen to you. Yeah. But I think that one is avoidance.
I think it's I was avoidance or ignorance. I think
ignorance.
It was ignorance.
Correct.
A lot of people, their ignorance of ignorance of fact or ignorance of law isn't an excuse. No, not an excuse.
So when people con you or when you are not on it, it's not the other person purposely want to how to cheat you, because your basic knowledge is not there.
Naive.
So your naive costs you that opportunity or costs you that sum of money. I think this one can easily be solved by getting yourself be more knowledgeable in terms of the basic.
You equip yourself with some basics, principle so that the certain thing you're aware of.
Correct.
Where, like for example, contract or transaction to sell, you would actually have to know where to find the causes, the possible causes of the dispute.
Correct. Because you see, like I was talking to you, like the contract is like so many pages. I'm sure there is a way to find out which are the pages that is more important than the rest.
Yes.
Now, all these are very basic informations that I think that we don't say even entrepreneurs. I think everyone would need to at least aware of it, right?
Yes.
And of course, things like do our police have the rights, and what is our right as a citizen, and all these things. I think all these things, no harm knowing.
Yes.
Correct. And here itself, because this is my 8th year in the business. Of course, I met the con man on my second year, second and third year. I say, Daila, I also don't have brother that is a lawyer. Hiring a lawyer to advise me is so expensive. Then I pray very hard. I say, if I manifest. I say, don't know whether is it possible that the God will give me a good brother, a good friend that is a lawyer. And then suddenly,
your prayer is answered.
Your prayer is answered. There's a question that I'd like to ask you. The part is, do you remember where we first met?
I think we met at one of the watch event at Star Hill.
Yes.
I think by Kronos at the Star Hill.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So with Charmaine, our common friends.
Yes.
Like for me, because I attend a lot of events, clearly, that I met you there. And I remember clearly that you are very friendly, and you're talking about the watches.
Yes.
That I think that time you're pretty like Yeah, light watches, right?
Yes, I do.
You
I do.
still light watches?
I do. But because of this, the current economic crisis, everything, and having different stage of life, I think
priority is
different. More like giving back to society than for
Precisely.
myself.
I think that there will be a certain time that we like certain things and then we move on from that, because somehow, somewhere, all these are material things, right? True. But I think that particular event is where I feel it's quite interesting, because I think there's not many people. It's a very close group.
Yeah,
very close group. And I remember we kind of have very good conversations. And by the time we know it, I think our friendship just blossomed by itself. I probably feel that maybe I'm his brother in the past life, right? True, so possible. It's a matter of time where we meet again. Just like me and Winnie Lou is the same thing. Because sometimes this chemistry is very hard to be. It's no words can describe this, right? You have met enough people in the event. I have met enough people in the event. But why are we?
For strange people, you work together, no?
Precisely, right? I think that is the basic. First of all, I think the basic interest, and I guess one thing for sure, I think both of us has a similar core value about being kind, being courteous, and all this. I think this is kind of important, because the core value is the one that
they click together.
Then only we talk about other interests, because the core value has to be similar before anyone can be a good friend. And I remember then the next thing is you buy me a birthday lunch and you start to join my environment.
Remember where's the birthday lunch?
Birthday lunch.
Our first lunch.
Birthday lunch is Westin. I also remember my first birthday present is a tie from you, and I think it's very sweet, because I feel like the reason why I feel like this friendship is very, because I feel it's not about the type, it's about the effort, and I feel the effort I need to acknowledge that. Because you are a busy man, you're doing all these things, and the effort, I feel like if you're putting the effort into this friendship, I also need to put the effort in friendship. And the friendship, if both parties put the effort, it will blossom into a good brothership.
A good friendship will not come by overnight.
And it's not one-sided.
Yeah, true.
Correct. Yes. So that is how Mr. Lai come in place. And of course, with that itself, and you start to be coming to all my events, even my overseas events, and you never fail to support me. And here itself, in the Facebook Live, I also use this opportunity to express my gratitude to you, because to me, my environment, I have a few inner circle that is always very sayang me and very willing to take care of me, and you are one of them. Okay, thank you very much for your friendship.
I'm grateful for your kindness and accepting me as part of your inner friends. No?
I think the beauty of a friendship is where we constantly lift each other up and constantly motivate each other to do bigger things in life. I think that one is so powerful and so meaningful, right? And first of all, I would like to acknowledge all the people that is joining us. Now, today topic is very interesting, because we're going to talk about basic legal rights and how Mr. Lai has used personal branding to be position himself to be who he is today. And if you like it, please help me to like, comment, and share this Facebook Live, so that more people have a chance to see this. And here itself, I will probably just take a look. Oh, we have Datin Winnie. Datin Winnie is in the house. Thank you for never fail. I tell you, Datin has never failed. Always support me with everything. And then we have Waying Chan. Waying Chan, you're right. We need to get legal advice, because you see, legal advice is very important. Why is that? It's because when you know you're right, you won't get other people to bully you.
True.
In fact, right, you can even use your legal right at your advantage.
Yeah, instead of having a protection, right, as a sword rather than a shield, and
correct.
You can attack where it needs to be.
Correct. Because like legal right is like a wisdom. It's it's like your biggest resources also. Because why? Because when you know that a lot of people out there are avoiding the legal knowledge, when you go and acquire it, you are at advantage.
Of course.
I tell you, this is I have been keep on emphasize, right, the importance of legal, right, your basic knowledge of the legal, especially if you are doing your business. But a lot of people, they still have a very rigid mindset that I would do it when I face a problem.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
But actually, when you sometimes when you face a problem, you see a lawyer. It may be too late. Maybe too late. That's not, for me. I won't complain because lawyers. That's the lawyers make the money. Constantly, this is a profession.
You see, you know, sometimes my brother say this. You know, lawyer is the most amazing career. Simple reason, right? Whoever hire him, he'll make that person is right.
True.
So correct,
True,
right?
true.
Okay. Second thing, right? Win or lose, he still get paid.
Absolutely.
So
unless it's more on the giving back to the society, then I will do the assumption.
Pro bono.
Pro bono. Yes.
It's called pro bono. I know because I watch a lot of lawyer drama. And one more thing, lawyer also have a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Simple reason is they will have what kind of opportunity? They will have this opportunity says, okay, if you manage to fight this case for me, I will let you override.
Well, I won't say override. Your balance fees.
Your balance fee is depends on your performance.
Yes.
Correct, huh? But it's case to case basis. But at least that is the motivations, because that depends on your power.
Yes.
Right? Because there's so many lawyers out there. Whether you are a good lawyer like my brother or you're a normal lawyer, that highly determine how powerful you are in the court.
In the market, it's very competitive. That's why that you need to be there to be different from the others. What can you offer to your clients, which is a matter of trust and confidence given.
Correct. Trust, confidence, and your capability of protecting your clients according to your way of
how we see it, how we presenting
Correct.
it, how we see it,
Right.
how we see it. Yeah.
Brother, do you know why I know so much about this?
Why?
I really think that if given a chance, I would also want to be a lawyer. But hey, I want to study law, but not so much of becoming a lawyer, but because I want to be a politician.
Oh, good.
And I feel that having a legal as your base help you to be a better politician.
Yes, there are many politicians, many MPs are
Right.
politicians.
Correct.
Mm.
So I say, if given a chance to choose everything again, I would have choose this
Oh.
path. But so that's why now
It's not too late. It's not too late.
but we'll see. But having you as my brother is good enough already, lah. So here itself, like I do it in this way is because what I feel is the more I know, right, I feel so powerful, right, that I know how the structure is being created.
Mhm.
Especially in politics, especially in business, the more you know about your legal, the more you can do it at your own convenience. It's very powerful, you know, because one word inside the contract and one word not inside the contract highly determine that one is protecting you or not.
Yeah.
Wow,
But
I
because
speak like a lawyer.
Yeah, you can be a lawyer. I mean, not much better than that other lawyers I've seen.
But is it
It's
true?
true because
Right.
a particular contract itself,
Right.
you have to see that you call it constructions of the terms of the contract. see.
Mm,
Words are very important.
correct.
I mean, as you said, missing one word can cost you $1 million.
Correct. You know, it's just that one word now. How I know this? Because I watch enough drama. But you see, the powerful thing is, I'm quite sure that like the audience, including me, we have watched enough legal drama out there, and I would have to say that the legal drama is being designed based on real cases, and some of the cases, right, almost caught you off guard how it turned out to be.
Yeah.
You're almost thinking that you could win, but just because one perspective of argument, you lose it.
It can be vice versa. That the case you lose will turn up to winning.
Yes. So it depends how powerful you are.
Yes, correct.
That's why lawyer is a very very interesting career. Why? Because lawyer, I would say like lawyer right is on their client.
True.
Fair?
True.
Right? Because you protect your client because you help the client. My question is, there are some of my friends, they don't do one legal case is divorce.
Yes.
They hate to do divorce case.
It's very sad. It's very sad, and it take very long.
Do you?
No, I don't do. I don't do contested divorce. No.
Okay.
Because partly it's very sad, and then it is so take a long time, long process.
And you see argument and all these things, right?
Yes, correct.
So I mean, there are so many type of legal. I guess you are choosing one that you like to do. But of course, some people would have to do that part. But I have seen a lot of, it's very ugly.
Ugly. It's
ugly.
Like, you can see the one side will cry in front of you, that sort of things.
Right.
Very sad.
Correct. And then they will ask to beg you to for your humanity and all these things.
Yes.
But sometimes work is work, right?
True.
Correct. I do understand that sometimes no matter what, no one can impose right or wrong. Most important thing is you are doing your part because you are lawyer for this case, and your lawyer is protecting your customer.
True.
So we don't have to put emotional inside.
Well,
Correct,
sometimes we to a certain extent that we cannot put our emotion inside because sometimes we cannot too in it.
Correct.
You don't see the actual picture perspective.
Correct. Like I always love conversation with my brother here is because I these few years doing business, I love to talk about perspective. And sometimes when you talk to another person about perspective, you can see another way of looking at things, and that is so beautiful. And as a lawyer, I think your job is to see as many perspectives as possible because you get yourself to equip with all the possibility that can happen.
Yes, one thing, sometimes people say you must look within the four corners.
Right.
I think that we lawyers, we have to do something not within four corners. We have to think out of the box as well.
Correct.
To do something more different, we have to think out of the box. That's what I'm doing.
And also caught the other person off guard.
Yes,
correct. So I think it's very fun part because I think as a lawyer, you are a strategist.
Yes.
Because time of sharing the informations, how to share it, when to share it, what to share it, I think all this must put it very nicely.
Right? Of course, that so certain depend on cases. Some cases is straightforward. You cannot strategize concern. It's there. But certain things you can strategize when to submit on certain things. So
to all our audience out there, now if you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, so you be just like me, have a brother that's a lawyer. Okay, that could solve it. No, just kidding. Okay, but anyway,
there's some of my friends there.
Yeah, your friends is there.
There's
say
three.
Hi to them.
Hi, there's three. Hi, Datuk Stanley Chiu, and we have Joy Go. Right.
Well, you have amazing follower online.
Wow.
This is where next question I ask you. Now, do you think personal branding is important as a lawyer, especially for you, and how you apply that in your business?
Well, I think that firstly that the personal branding concern is, I think it's important to me. Firstly, I think that a lot of lawyers they think that they don't need the personal branding. Like for example, they have the firm, they brand the firm itself, the firm by itself. But a lot of people don't understand that you yourself, you handle the case, you must have your personal brand itself. When you go out of the firm, when you leave the firm, your branding with the firm, not yourself.
True.
So legal firm, one of the inherent basic is that is based on the relationship, right, and the what they call it, and trust.
Correct. Because especially lawyer, you don't simply change lawyer.
Yes.
Why? Because if I select you as my lawyer, I have to be very truthful to you everything. because I have to be truthful. If not, who can help you?
Trusted person.
Correct. So how can I be going around sharing a lot of things to other people? So I feel like lawyer is someone that once you find one, you will stay as close as possible.
I think it's more the core value. You have when you build, like, let's say personal branding, you have the core value of your personal trust,
correct,
your integrity,
correct,
honesty. I think for the as a lawyers, the integrity, honesty is very important. If you lost the integrity, lost the honesty, that's it. That your client will not follow you anymore.
And the word travels.
Yes, correct.
And the word travels, because I think even though in the legal environment, actually everyone's kind of know who is who, right? So doing a certain things that is not integrity and honest somehow could actually jeopardize your own branding also. You are right, because here itself you share that the personal branding is not on your firm. Simple reason is because when I hire a lawyer, I want this lawyer to fight for me and not the firm to fight for me.
Yes.
Correct, right? And that's why, in Singapore, because I was there for 18 years, right?
Yeah.
You know what is the most famous legal firm in Singapore?
Which one?
Lee and Lee.
Lee and Lee.
Of course lah. Lee and Lee ma. So, you have Lee and Lee as a lead. I mean, of course, Lee Kuan Yew at that time created this. Who don't want that? Right? Because the branding is very strong. That one cannot be denied. You are leveraging on that branding. But if let's say you are on your own, it's very important to be building your own branding, because that can help you a lot. And also, you have been a very powerful lawyer for the past 25 years.
More than 25, you come 26 years.
And during this MCO, you do another breakthrough.
Yes.
What breakthrough do you do?
Something I would never believe
that you'll do, right?
That we'll do. Now, which is the online Facebook, which is the branding,
online person
branding of Facebook. Which I find that it's actually, I can attract a lot of different type of people coming to me in terms of connections.
Right.
We connect to different world.
Correct. See, you here itself, you're already kind of like like go into the stage of overcoming this part by leveraging online.
Yeah.
Do you discover that when you do this online personal branding, you have a new group of followers?
Yes.
That's one thing. Number two is, do you find that online somehow help you to be building relationship without you personally have to have lunch, dinner with them?
Yes.
Correct. And that is quite powerful.
Yeah, but in terms of reaching out to the world in the community that we can actually interact. Although that I still believe the personal touch, kind of face to face, we have a different type of feeling and touch.
Correct.
But as far as concerned on online itself, I find that we can still reach to the world not having to go outside.
Correct. Both is important.
Yeah.
But the online world can help you to manage all the connections easier, because it only a click away.
Yeah.
Right. So when we do this personal, we always say that we will leverage on both offline and online. But one more thing, because when Mr. Lai asked me for advice to help him craft his online personal branding, is now I told Mr. Lai, your past 25 years of track record, if you would have in early days understand the power of online branding, you would have record down your journey.
Yeah.
And when you record down the journey, you would have other people help you to promote you. But at this moment, I ask you to vomit out your 25 years of journey. I think it's quite impossible.
True.
You probably remember bits and pieces. Now, even though you don't want people to remember, it's not for the purpose of people to promote you, but it's also for your own usage, which means at least you see your path.
Yeah.
And then next time you can tell kids and all, there is a history of your journey.
It's different journey of life, different milestone in life.
Correct.
Different
And sometimes it's actually like now you are recording it down. When you flip back, actually it feels quite good to be reflecting all your past thing on. It makes you more motivated to do more things.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So like to all the, whether it's illegal, even legal itself, a lot of people, like what Mr. Lai say, a lot of lawyers think that they just need to do their work, their job is enough. Let me tell you, the society has changed, the world has changed. It becomes commodities nowadays. If you don't start to build your own personal branding, it's very hard because why? People follow people, right? Now, here itself, Mr. Lai, High Flyer Asia promote him until so powerful, like nobody under High Flyer Asia don't know him, right? So that is what we call the power of pushing and branding. Okay, now here itself, we go into that. Now, earlier on, we already touched it. How is it important for people, especially entrepreneurs, to understand the bigger leagues? Right? I want to ask this question in this form. What would their, what would they lose out if they don't? What is the possibility of things they will lose out if they don't understand their basic legal right? What are the things? Probably you can name me 3.
Well, the first thing they'll probably lose out, first and important as entrepreneur, they may lose out the business.
Lose the business.
Not business.
You could lose everything.
Lose business.
Right, you could lose everything.
Lose a business, and of course, we don't talk about friendship. You lose a friendship person, definitely, because
friendship.
Yes, you lose a friendship because when things turn sour, you're not protected. People one-sided, you turn your friendship out.
Right.
The most important thing, you will end up with costly litigations.
Correct.
You will be sued, or you have to engage a lawyer to get back what you have lost.
And do you know this part is the most dangerous part?
Yeah.
You know why? The people, the other friend, we have the deeper pocket, will fight with you.
Yes.
Why? See who can last longer in court.
Yes.
Correct. And that is already a fair game. Already.
It's very common.
Isn't it?
When in courts, the litigation, when things turn sour, nobody will go on the inequality and fairness anymore.
Correct.
Right. Both sides want to challenge, both sides want to win, and sometimes we have ego.
Right.
Ego, matter of principle.
Right.
I have a client actually, tell you an experience of a client. We want to wind on a company because we owe $2,000. Matter of principle. I want to wind you up because we challenge you come. Right. So, okay, so $2,000 ringgit. Right. Your winding up is a cost itself is the basic cost of deposit and advertisement. It costs $6,000-7,000 a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus legal fees is more than $10,000.
Right.
That's my principle. I'm happy.
Correct.
You have to tell people.
Correct. Of course. I mean, I feel that they got the principle override the part, which is I think is fair because some people they rather lose the money than the principle.
Yes.
Right. But here itself, like just now we say, is people that have the deep pocket is the one commanding the rules being played here, and I find that this is I don't know how to say it's quite very tricky.
Well, I think it's not the end of the world. Right? Although we have a lot of rich deep pocket, they have money to spend.
Right.
But I think that to a certain extent, I do observe we have some lawyers with kindness as well, do pro bono, helping those people who every can afford.
Right. Who is being bullied.
Being bullied as well.
Yeah.
No?
Correct. Because here itself, beside having your legal rights, you also need to understand who you are fighting against with. I think like Datin will always share with me a lot of stories. Like sometimes if you're fighting with the super big player, you can even forget about fighting.
Yes.
Because they have teams of lawyers to make sure that your case would not be, what you call that thing, the first case to be winning this, the what you call that thing? Like example is like
set the precedent case.
Precedent case. Okay, so a lot of companies, a lot of big organization, they don't want to set this precedent. Precedent means what? Precedent means the moment that the first one are able to win this, right? It means got second
set
and third. Set an example for the second. No one want to do that, right?
Yes.
They will die, make sure that it doesn't happen, isn't it?
True.
Correct enough. So this also I learned it from a lot of stories that is in the market. You see, so the beautiful is when you hear stories like this, you learn more about how things is being done. In fact, as if you think that your business is growing and you want to be, doing bigger things, it's better to start thinking this part of it,
Yes,
because
yes.
it's very important. And with just one small mistake, it could cost you your business. Number two, friendship and your business partner.
Yes.
How about number three?
Costly, you have to spend money. Litigation, that's the big one.
Do you know? I think the number three is what? It's emotionally burden to you.
Stress at the end of it.
It's so stressful. Why? Because here itself, you have to go through that. It actually is not easy, you know,
Not easy.
because the whole procedure is not as easy as you going to court. You know, the lengthiness.
Yes.
You know, then you have to wait for your time and all these things, and it never ends. Sometimes people say, I always say this, if it's not too much of money, or if it's not too much of ego, just swallow it.
You're right.
Right.
In fact, yesterday, there's a client of mine. They asked me on whether to be on these employee issues.
Yes,
You know, employee want to claim him for 2 months salary because of the layoff.
Right.
Because the company is not doing, or he's not doing, ask him to go off, resign.
Right.
And he was so angry. He said whether he want to fight through on paying the 2 months.
Yeah.
I told him, do you have the time to play with it?
Right.
Or do you have more time to actually release your stress emotionally?
Correct.
At the end, he said, yeah, true. I although I'm very angry with the principal, I want to teach him a lesson, but then it doesn't worth my time.
Correct. And it's really not worth time. And sometimes the energy of doing this is not as entitled. It's like positive energy. You might as well use the time, effort, and resources to go and make more money outside.
It's forgiveness.
And then big heart just do it.
You're fun.
Like what I say is based on whether you can swallow it or not. So I also, during these 8 years, I also have a few that I could do it, but I kind of like a lot of people ask me why I shouldn't do it. I say that I don't do it partially is because I always like to have positivity around me, and I think it's a great experience, learning experience for me. I would rather take this to go and build up and earn money from other environment.
Better spend time with your energy with it. If something is more fruitful.
Yeah, because that makes like me more calm. Yeah. Because I like, of course, the Chinese saying, as long as you go to court, how can we say it's positive energy? For
me, I'm positive.
You have to.
For me, I'm positive.
Isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Positive like that, yeah.
I don't think people are excited to go court. I don't think people are wake up early to very happy. You are different. You are doing your job, right? Yeah.
But there are people, they are very excited to go to court.
Right.
Why? They like the challenge.
They like
the challenge.
Trigger the part of the challenging part, because the moment I win already, it makes me more powerful.
Yes, right.
It's very ego lah, this kind of thing. Yeah, a lot of people like that, right? Because business.
Otherwise, the lawyer have no business.
Remember this. Whatever you do, the lawyer makes a lot of money. Okay, so here itself that we have so many people who have shared that the content of this talk is very amazing. And we have Evelyn who asks, how do you handle friends who ask for your legal advice and expect it to pro bono from you? This one I can answer for you, brother. Okay, Evelyn, to answer this question, let me put up your question first. Now the question is, how do you handle friends who ask for your legal advice and expecting it to be pro bono from you? Then I will pass the mirror to that friend and ask him or her, what right do you deserve to be pro bono? Just kidding. But this is a very straightforward answer. That depends on what kind of relationship you are. Now, frankly speaking, Mr. Lai or even me itself, we don't run a charity organizations, right?
Sometimes I do.
No, you're right. As in your firm.
Different platform.
I don't think anyone will just come in and everyone come in and ask pro bono. Then how are you going to make?
True.
Now, pro bono, it makes in for whether that is the case is really a real case, and it's something that near to your heart that you want to support, and I think that is case to case basis from that.
We said that to friends who ask for legal advice, Of course, depending on what type of legal advice. Depending on simple legal advice, normally
simple
cannot be advised. I will just on the phone. I will just tell you what is it there, but not in detail. But expecting to be pro bonos from you, of course, if friends asking the simple question, of course, the basic. No problem. Basic issue. I feel not to solve the issue, the case.
I think you also must do your part. When you it should not be expect. We probably is ask courteously and ask nicely. I'm quite sure within your means you will do that. Right? Yes. If it's not taking up too much of your time cost, I think that's fine, right? Do you know that this episode is very interesting because we are only at our number 3 questions. Now, Gemma, do you think that it's very possible that for this episode, we will make it as a part 1 and part 2 of Mr. Lai? What we are going to do is, Mr. Lai, do you think that it's all right that we invite you back again next Wednesday for the part 2 of this live? Simple reason because I think the topic is very interesting and a lot of people want to find out more from the legal perspective. Whether it's from a lawyer, from a person branding, or on the right. So what I decide to do now is we take our time to respond, but the last questions we will move it to next week to do it because you are very popular. You see so many people asking you questions, right? Now, on this part, we will answer one more questions and we move forward to your upcoming project. Okay, so here itself, these questions is I always like to ask is, like a lot of comment posting on social media may not be real one, and sometimes because people just want to defame you, they always say the non-truth, and which means there's a lot of judgmental remark that's trending. Now, is it do we have the legal right if we find that the other person is defaming us?
Of course, you have the right if someone is defaming you, because this is talking about defamation. If defamation are 2 types. One is the libel, which is written forms. One is slander. Slander, which is by orally.
So one is orally, one is written.
Libel is written.
Which one is
on Facebook? Facebook or online or Twitter or this thing, this will be libel.
Okay.
Right. So in order for you to able to take actions for somebody defaming you, you must make the statement. The statement must be defamatory, and that statement must be not of the truth. You portray it to be the truth, but in reality, it's not the truth. It's a false statement.
Okay.
Something is not.
It's arguable.
It's arguable. No, it's not arguable. You know yourself. For example, you say somebody, you utter some words. For example, I think that Steve killed that person.
Which is if you don't know whether it's true.
You don't know the truth. If definitely it's not, people will think that it's true. Steve actually.
It makes other people believe
it. Yes. Yeah. So this is a publication. Correct. So in order for defamation statement, it must be published to a third party. Facebook, so many people are writing. And next thing you will see whether that the statement itself is by negligently given out. It must not be. If you intentionally be malicious, then you will be liable in court for the action concerned. And of course, in order to take action for defamation, you must see whether you suffer damages or not. Whether the statement caused you harm in anything, in terms of reputation.
So that's why, especially in the social media, please be very mindful before you start sharing a lot of things, or don't just share for the sake of sharing, because sometimes you haven't known what is the actual reason behind it or actual truth behind it, especially is defaming somebody. Be very mindful on this, because this part of self, a lot of people take it very lightly.
Somebody say, they try to what you say. It's my opinion.
It's your opinion.
It depends how you word it. You can say it's my opinion, but you must be on something. If it's opinion something on facts, then you may be liable. I said,
Don't just because it's your Facebook page, you have all the right to share anything you want. You are so wrong.
Yes.
Because your Facebook page is public, which means third party can see it. It's a publications.
True.
Which means everything you put inside, as long as it's not defaming someone, if nobody come and catch you, but if you are defaming someone and that person decided to fight against you, you really are on your losing side.
True.
Do you know that, especially in Malaysia, I think we are just waiting for one case to come up before people realize that this is a serious offense. Don't you think so? Because people take you too lightly. They just share like nobody business. Don't even to find, don't even to think, right? And then you know what happened when they share? When people tell them, oh, these are I don't mean it. Do you know that I don't mean it can cost you quite a bit of things, right?
Once the words we put altered out and put in the writing itself, you cannot take back.
Cannot say I don't mean it.
Yes.
Don't think whatever we are saying here is a joke or things like that. Your I don't mean it, right? Don't apply in court. Correct? Huh?
Yes.
Because this I don't mean it, a lot of people has been applying when they sharing things that they never find fair. But when people tell you, they say, I don't mean it. Don't do it. And you know what? Earlier on, we talked about being kind, being nice, being what? Let us do our part in sharing only the good things.
Sure.
Defaming someone is not a nice thing to do. And I don't think...
it's bad karma as well.
Right. So
whatever goes around comes around.
Correct. So here itself, we have Dr.
William Goh. Hi, my friend, Dr. William Goh. Hi.
I ask you, do you handle this kind of cases?
No, I don't do defamations, but I have the knowledge, but I don't do defamation.
I see. But if you, Dr. William, you want, Mr. Lai can consider correct.
Yes.
Okay, we have Jenna. Hello. Okay, so you see, because this is so interesting, here itself, I will stop because we are only halfway with the question because we have a lot of nice questions coming up, and it's all got to do with the entrepreneurs and the basic legal rights for anybody, not necessarily must be entrepreneurs, because you protecting yourself legal right is very important. Now, you're also going to launch a project, okay? Now, because the reason this masterclass is come out is because so many people ask you, right?
Yes.
What is my basic legal right? 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 I tell you, I think Mr. Lai have answered the same question repeatedly for don't know how many thousand times already. And therefore, here itself, I think Mr. Lai has already, for the first time, he is coming out to do a masterclass. It's a one day. And this one day, you are going to share with the entrepreneurs what is the essential law that you need to get yourself protected.
Yes.
Okay, so what are we covering in this legal masterclass? Okay, you are covering a few things. Now, number one is, example, the basic things. If you want to hire a lawyer, what terms you need to talk with a lawyer? You know, sometimes when you hire a lawyer, if you don't even know your terms, you're letting the lawyer decide how is it being done.
Yes.
So you are not, you're not protecting yourself that way. Number two, when you are reviewing your contract, doesn't matter whether your staff contract, your property contract, your business contract, what are the main things to look out for?
Yes, the main clauses.
The main clauses, because we don't expect you to see all the pages, but you still need to see the few of the more important ones.
Yes.
And what kind of clauses are on your side? So these are the things that we are going to cover.
The scope and responsibility and obligations set there.
And the thing is, here itself, now, in the business world, the last thing that we want to meet is big bully.
Yeah.
And big bully is out there. You like it or not, it's out there. Now, the big bully, the best thing they know, they always use legal to bully you. So by protecting yourself, you know, what kind of legal aspect of your rights, when people are bullying you, at least you know that what kind of right you have. And on the spot itself, you will have
you know how to handle it.
You know how to handle it.
Yeah.
You do not be overpressured by them.
I think you can make a better decision. You don't have to because most of the time in entrepreneurship concern, when they say face the issue, when you some basics principle behind you, law behind you, protection, you know how to make a decision in a sense.
Correct.
Because sometimes then you make a decision, you make a correct, wise judgment.
Correct. So here itself, I'm going to put the form here. Inside the form has the full information about this one-day legal masterclass. Okay, so if you are interested, please you can fill out the form, and the date of this is on the 17th July. 17th July, and it will be at EQ Hotel. Now, if you sign up for this legal masterclass workshop, you also will get one-to-one consultations with you.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you, like, it's so priceless, right? Frankly speaking, now I feel the reason this one-to-one consultation is so important is sometimes people don't even know what to ask a lawyer.
True.
Right?
True.
Now, that's why you are in this one-to-one to tell this entrepreneur whether what industry they are, what are the things they need to know as their legal right. Correct?
Yes.
Because every industry has a different.
I mean, if different industry, different right, different set of laws.
Correct. We have construction, we have legal. So somehow, somewhere, your 25 years will have give you enough to cover the different variety of industry.
Yes.
That's why you are giving it to the audience, to whoever that attend this workshop, right? And therefore they get to do this one-to-one consultation. I'm very excited to be doing this project with you because I feel this is a very meaningful project because getting people to be equipped with legal rights, I have to say that 10,000 times is very important. You know, sometimes, right, your karma may not be so good that I have a brother here protecting you. So you have to equip yourself with that. Correct or not?
Yes.
So unless your brother, sister is lawyer, unless your best friend is lawyer, you cannot safely say you are equipped because it will be very expensive. Because you see, a lawyer is also want to earn money, right?
Yes.
When the case come, when the problem come, is where the lawyer earn the most money or?
Not necessary.
Not necessary. Why?
Sometimes client make more money.
Of course, client make money, you also make more money, right? So if you're interested on this, High Fly Asia, the legal team legal masterclass, please, the form is already in the comment. Please, if you're interested, just fill it up. We have limited seat. Now, if you like it, then we're more than happy to be accepting this your thing. It's on next Friday itself. We are keeping the class small. Simple reason, we want to have a more intimate session. You're going to run through all the case study and for us to understand you better. I can't wait to attend the class because a lot of time is you share with me like just like that, but do it on the case study. I'm quite excited. It will be different, right? I kind of like so excited to see you arguing it from different perspectives. Because maybe what you can see is what I cannot see.
True.
And that will be so powerful. And because of 25 years, we have seen, you also, some of may not be your cases, but some cases are the most talked about.
True.
You will also take that out to be talked about.
Yes.
Correct enough? Today, this session.
Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing it? Okay, you're doing this because I forced you to do it, right?
No.
Okay. So why are you doing this? Simple reason. You know, like sometimes, like you're so right. Like, why Mr. Lai need to doing this instead of getting people to hire him? Now he's teaching people. Yeah. So what you did?
No,
your last statement before we go, because next week we still can continue.
Yeah. But partly, I mean, I just want to give back to I reached a certain stage, and I just want to give back to society concerned. Because as you know, that I involved in an association as well, right?
Yes.
I am in the United Contractors Malaysia.
Right.
Heavy machine,
right.
Also many associations. Right. So that is the way I'm giving back to society as well. Different form.
Correct.
But in this platform concern, in this Facebook, online, in different platform and giving back to society.
And the workshop itself, because the workshop itself, when you're doing it, you kind of like empower them with their legal rights.
Yes.
So I think those empowerment is a different kind of like giving back to society.
I mean, we're grateful. We're grateful. We're thankful to what we have today. So something small thing to give. What's the greatest gift?
What?
Is to give.
The greater gift is to give. The more you give, the more you are blessed. I think these statements has times again been said, and I think I myself I agree with it a lot, because I find the more that I supporting others, the more blessed my life is going to be. Okay, so here itself, we are almost to the end of these sessions. Thank you very much for joining us. You all have been amazing, but because this is only part 1 of this Facebook Live, now Mr. Lai has break the record. Mr. Lai is the first guest that has part 2. Okay, so this is amazing because he's the only person who do that. Now, and on the part 2 itself, you have a chance to come back again to see this Facebook Live. But what I want you to do is to prepare yourself with some questions, right? Because we have time to be replying some questions for you.
We have to do something that the question in advance.
Okay, they can preempt us, but or you can just prepare. But I think answering impromptu will be nice, right? Because there will be kind of more fun, right? And also test you on the spot,
True.
You prepare too much also.
So that is my Michael Master Builder's brother.
So
you have
all your brothers,
Sunway, Mr. Yo, Sunway.
Right. All these amazing connections of you, all these are supporting you. Okay, thank you very much for being an awesome guest for us. And I'll see you next week, same time with Mr. Lai for the part 2. Okay, so in the meantime, stay strong, stay healthy, and stay awesome. Okay, bye-bye.